Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Google Plus In-Depth webinar. It's fantastic to see you all here. I do a lot of webinars, and they're a lot of fun. It's just a great way to to connect with people very easily, and so it's something that I do a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of people that I have never seen on a webinar before, and that's fantastic. And so let me give you a little bit of a rundown briefly if you've never used this tool system. We are on the GoToWebinar platform here, and you'll see on the right-hand side of your screen, most likely it's on the right-hand side of your screen, the toolbar for this the webinar tool set. And typically what we do is, as far as interaction is concerned, we use the chat window and the questions window. When you're utilizing this platform, the GoToWebinar portion of it, everybody that comes in is automatically muted, and that's just simply because there's roughly about right now 16 people on here, and if you've ever been on a conference call where everybody's unmuted, it's surprising how much background noise there is. And so I feel that is a very fortunate default setting, just so there isn't a lot of background noise. And so what I would encourage you to do is feel free to use the chat window or the questions window at any point in time in this. And even if you have a question that doesn't necessarily relate to the exact topic, I would like to keep this on topic as far as Google Plus or maybe how it relates to other social media platforms. That would be very fine. But if you have any kind of question, feel free to put it in the question window. I'm working in two windows here. On my left is the window that you're seeing, and then on the right-hand side, I have a window of all the mechanics behind the scenes here, and that's where I'll be looking between both of those. And then finally, you see me here as a really choppy, unanimated version of me. The tool set in GoToWebinar is not actually streaming video. It's just screen captures. And so it is kind of weird to see me just moving around in that jerky way. I'm looking at it, I see what you guys see, and it is kind of a strange feeling, but the trade-off is that you get a really nice crisp view of my screen, and I think when you're doing these kinds of sessions, that is more valuable than having actually streaming video. And so that is how it works. So I'm so glad that you're here. People are still coming in, and I'm sure that will probably happen. I'm anticipating this will be roughly an hour. I don't think any longer than an hour, and it maybe less. But what I want to do here is kind of have a discussion about what Google Plus is and what it potentially means to the internet community. And so with that, I want to start with this first screen capture right here. I think this is the main reason why we need to be having this conversation. This came out on August 3rd, so today's August 4th, so this was yesterday, right before noon. And it gives a real, real valuable insight as to why this matters. And this is it. You can see here, this shows the length of time it took 4 social media properties to get to 25 million worldwide unique visitors, and it has taken Google Plus just over a month to get to that. And you can see, the others, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter, took much longer than that. It's interesting. You should also see that MySpace actually was the second fastest of these, and we all know what is going on with MySpace rate at the moment. So faster isn't always better, but this is, I think, telling that this has had such a powerful impact. It is the fastest growing website ever. No website has ever grown to this quickly. So then I wanted to show you this stat too. The next stat here is the Google Plus cumulative worldwide and U.S. unique visitor trend. And this is interesting. The blue line here is United States, and then the orange is worldwide. And I just got a question over here from Chris. Hey, Chris, it's fantastic to see you. And Chris said that she might have to duck out. Will this session be archived? And in fact, it will be. In fact, I believe I'm going to put it on YouTube. I have the extended version of YouTube. I can put 2-hour and 15-minute videos on YouTube, and so I think I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. So you can, it'll be over there. So that's, if you miss something or want to review something, that'll be there. And additionally, I'm going to have all of the links archived. I will be embedding this as a post over at the SageRock blog as well. And so that'll be there too. So what you'll notice here is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this URL and I'm going to give it to you, and you'll find it in the chat window. And incidentally, also when this is done, you can look at the very top of the GoToWebinar toolbar under File, and you are able to save the chat log so that you can have these links as well. So you can do that. But again, they'll also be at YouTube and at the SageRock blog. So that's that. Let's see. So, and Mike. Hey, Mike says, I'll need to do the same, but here till the bottom of the hour, looking forward to the first 30. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to, that you're able to take the time to do this at all. It's really, it's very touching. So this is interesting to me. You look at the worldwide here, and this is always humbling to me. As a United States citizen, I always think, we're number one. And the fact of the matter is, from a massive amount of people, we are not number one. You can just see here that the difference of what the worldwide audience is. Then the next screen is Google Plus top 10 countries by cumulative unique visitors, and that's coming up there. And so you can see here that by country, the United States has the most, but this is a perfect play on the long tail here. This is exactly what long tail marketing is. Like the United States is Coke and Pepsi, but India, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Brazil, France, Taiwan, Turkey, Spain, and all the others are every other soda pop. And then, and so collectively, they make up much more than just the United States. And so that's interesting. Another stat down at the bottom says, ComScore also noted that the adoption of Gmail seems to have a direct correlation to the adoption of Google+. So, if you're into Gmail, you're doing Google+. So I think that's interesting. Google Plus user base skews highly male and towards the 18 to 34 range. So males make up 63% of all U.S. Visitors, while the largest age group, 35%, is age 25 to 34. And so you'll see here in a second, this next window should come up, and you'll see this breakup. Orange is female, and blue is male. And so you can kind of see here the differences there, So by far the 25 to 34 age group is the biggest. They oftentimes lead this kind of thing, And then the last stat here down at the bottom is Google Plus browser penetration. And so the light blue bar is Google Plus, and the dark blue bar is total internet. And this is interesting because it skews highly towards Chrome. Whereas 87% of the total internet audience uses Internet Explorer, only 23% of Google Plus users are using Google Chrome. So by looking at these numbers here, by piecing this together, this is, Alan asked, Sage, are you going to be getting into what Google Plus is? Sorry for asking a possibly really dumb question. That is not a dumb question at all, and 100% I am. We want to start at the kind of the ground level, what it is, and also how it's different. So, you're welcome, Alan. Anytime. So, but what I want to point out is that this is different than most social media platforms, because right now the only other social media platform that skews male is LinkedIn. Everything else is more female. You know, there's a higher percentage of females on virtually every other social media platform that I can recall. So that is an interesting thing. This is kind of a geeky thing here, but with the this incredibly fast adoption rate, I feel that is going to change. Okay, so what I want to do here is, we are definitely going to talk about what Google Plus is, but this screen that you're seeing right here is my that's on my overall circles. I have one specific circle, but this is what it looks like. This is what, if you haven't been on Google Plus, this is what it looks like. And I thought it would be interesting to potentially talk to you about why I feel this is different than Facebook and Twitter. Okay, so that is why this, making connections in this as opposed to in a vacuum, I think is the value here. And I have to say, if any of you are using Google Plus, please let me know in the questions box or the chat box your feelings of this. If you feel that it, if you like it or don't like it as much as one of the others. But I'd really like to know. Jeff, hey Jeff, Google says. Google asks, or Jeff asks, is Google Plus a better fit to B2B than Facebook? Fantastic question. And so, let me tell you a quick story about my wife. So my wife is writing a book, and she is one of these people that likes to keep her people separate. She likes to tell her friends certain things, and she likes to tell her book people certain things. Jeff says, I'm your hero. Oh, you're my hero, man. Let me tell you. And so with the advent of Google Plus, my wife was tickled, I tell you, because finally she could have a place where she felt like it was very easy for her to send personal messages to her friends, her book stuff to her book people, and it made this really great way of allowing her to segment. And so in that regard, Jeff, I think it's going to be really great for business people, and particularly people that don't want all of their stuff mixed together. They don't want their peanut butter in their chocolate. You know what I'm saying? You remember those commercials? Hey, you got peanut butter in my chocolate? No, you got chocolate in my peanut butter. Remember those? I am old, but that was a good commercial. It's like that. So I feel like it's going to be very good for those kinds of people. Bart says, I love how it allows you leverage a personal identity and a business identity and draws a hard line between the sharing. Yes, see, that's exactly right. I feel that there is a particular kind of person that likes that. And then Malcolm says, hey, Malcolm, the ability to keep volleyball friends separate from tennis friends, from business friends is very powerful. Yes, see? So, I mean, your volleyball friends, they don't care about your tennis, and likewise. And your business people, you might not feel comfortable sharing that information. I'm one of these guys that loves my chocolate and peanut butter all smashed together. I love it. I love it. It's awesome. And but for me, and so I am a little less, that feature is nice for me, but it's not crucial. However, there are parts of that I really like. Bart says, one place to manage all your blurbs without worrying about who might see it and form an opinion. Yes. And in fact, Bart, I follow you on Google Plus, and I see your stuff, and it's very professional, and that is really cool. Like, you are sending me messaging that is business related, and it's very easy for you to do, I'm sure, and I'll show you how to do all this, but you've kept me probably in a business circle, and you're sending me business stuff. Ken says, hey Ken, it's good to see you. I've used Plus in a limited fashion. Will be great if the masses make it there. Yes. If we have, we only have 25 million people here, if you can imagine. But we are gaining roughly 1 million a day. 1 million visitors or users a day. That's the rate at which this is being adopted. And so that's pretty powerful. So that is that. So let's take a second here and let's go over to Twitter, okay? And this is my Twitter profile. And so what I want to do here is kind of give a compare and contrast. So when you come to Twitter, you come to twitter.com, and maybe you're using it, maybe you have some sort of aggregator, or you're using it on your phone or whatnot. But what I'm doing here is I have 1,300 people that I am getting all of their messaging like a fire hose. There is no ordering here, the ordering is time sensitive, okay? So I am just getting all of these people in since I started this, now you'll probably see here, I got 2 new tweets, and they just keep flowing and flowing. This could be a full-time job just to keep up on this, if I wanted to. But fortunately, Twitter has created lists, and lists are nice because if I'm, whatever the mood I'm in, so maybe I'm in the mood for Akron. So I just want to see what is going on in Akron. So I have Chinsey Rolling just popped up. It was just a puppy. I don't know what that is. Kevin Lockett here, he writes a lot in the local scene. State and federal, this is a local company here. Upcoming events will be attending. So I get to choose by list. And furthermore, over on the right-hand side of the screen, it tries to do a fairly good job of saying, oh, well, you might like these people. You might like Crackle or SE Journal or Andy Beard, and sure, and I would. It's pretty amazing. It's usually because I'm following one kind of person, and they're saying, oh, well, since you follow them, you might like these people because, they follow them as well. And so they're trying to do that. But if you use Twitter, one of the things you have to know about Twitter is it's 140 characters. No more. No more. And so, consequently, you are very limited. And that's simply because this was based on texting. That was what this was all meant to be, So you are limited in the number of characters. You can't, it's very difficult to get a complicated idea across, and you start doing shorthand and that sort of thing. And it just feels a little bit wild to me. I've been reading about how people are tending to start to use Twitter as a data stream, So like they'll group people in lists like international news, local news, United States news, tech news, and they'll put people in those kinds of lists, and then they will go in and it's much like being in a moving stream, if not like a raging river. I highly encourage you actually to use Twitter when there is a national or international happening. A State of the Union address is a great time to be on Twitter, and you can follow people by hashtags and that sort of thing. I feel that Twitter is maybe going to become a little bit less about individuals, and more about information. That's my feeling about it. Okay, so that's where we are with Twitter. Okay, so now let's move over to Facebook. And the thing about Facebook is, if you use Facebook in its standard format, meaning by seeing your stream as top news and not recent news, you are getting a filter. You are being filtered by an algorithm called EdgeRank. And EdgeRank is, it has to do with how many times somebody has liked something and whatnot. And so you will oftentimes find yourself losing the feed of many, many people, because top news is trying to show you what is important. And just because somebody hasn't liked something or been commented on doesn't mean that you're not interested in it. And so then you have the other option of looking at most recent news, So you can do this. And so now this is, again, a fire hydrant. It's just taking everybody that you follow and just showing you all, just showing you all of everything everybody has ever said that you're following, But if you work hard and you really want to, you can over here on the left click Friends. Okay, I'm going to click my Friends button. Okay, and then you'll come to your Friends page. And when you get to your Friends page, you will see something called Manage Friends List. Okay, and so there you'll see it there. And what you can do, these are people that have been recently updated, but if you click on the Manage Friend List, okay, you can put people in lists, but you have to really want it, You have to, and so you can go down here and you can say, show me people that have been recently interacted, search by current city, search by school, so by hometown, for example. I like doing that. Or rather, if we go here, and I'm going to create a list on the top up here. Okay, so I can create lists like that, and you can start organizing people in different ways. So like here, I've done a search now for people in their hometown is Akron, Ohio. And so now, and then what I can do is, I have 13 people in here, and I can create a list like this, you see. And then, so I can create these lists in this back end space here. And then what I can do is I can come back to my home page, and you will notice, you'll see in the at the top here, you can drop down, and you don't have to select most recent. You can select a list, like Baldwin Wallace. And so then you can get a list of people based on Baldwin Wallace. Baldwin Wallace is where I went to college. Baldwin Wallace is in Bree, Ohio. It's a lovely, lovely liberal arts school. And so, I can see here John Nawarta. He's a violinist that I played with. Richard Brentar lived down the hall from me in Kohler Hall. Michael Huff, another violinist. And so, this is nice for, you can do this. Go Yellow Jackets, right on. See, Jeff, right. We've got a connection. So this is good, But you have to really want it. And one thing that you have to realize is when I'm thinking about this, I think about, would my mom be able to do this? And I have to say, I don't think so. Would my mom be able to find these lists, create these lists, and that sort of thing? Now, I have to say, my mom loves Facebook, and she also doesn't have 600 or 800 people that she's following. She's following, like, I don't know, a dozen people. And so, you know, she can kind of keep up on it pretty easily. So it's not a big to-do for her, this whole thing, you know. But if you're following a lot of people, and why wouldn't you want to follow a lot of people? I mean, you've met a lot of people in your life, you know, people that you went to high school with, people that you went to college with, people you've worked with, people you met at a bar, you know, people you met at a you know, a race that you ran, your tennis friends, you know, those are all people that you want to have, you know. And so that is hard. But then you maybe would say, well, and like Malcolm brought up, he might say, well, you know what, I don't want to show my business people what's going on with my tennis stuff. And so you can then go into your privacy settings and work this stuff, you know. But it is not easy. I don't believe there's any way in the world, no matter how many times I come to my mother's house. Is my mother on here? I hope not. I mean no disrespect, Mother, if you are on here. No, she's not on here, so I can just talk all about her. There's no way I could set up her privacy settings for her and figure out, like, filtering that type of thing, you know? You know what I'm saying? So since using Google+, I have started to see some weaknesses, you know, in Twitter and in Facebook. And so now what I want to do is I want to take you back over to Google+, okay? And so what I want to show you here is the relatively different aspect of this, okay? And so here what I'm looking at is I'm looking at my overall stream, and here's Brian Eisenberg, a well-renowned usability expert, and he says, where am I walking in Brooklyn today? I don't know. Does anybody know that Brooklyn thing? But I'm getting my full stream, and Jeff rightfully says, I think, that he's right here. Jeff says, I'm sure Facebook will respond to the Google Plus success over the next 12 months. Do you think they're just splitting the population, or will there be a permanent migration to Google Plus? And again, I go back to my wife, who is not a what I like to call a technology optimist. I believe there are technology pessimists and technology optimists. And when I think of a technology optimist, they are a person that wants the technology to work. The day it does not work is the day the game is over. She walks away. She doesn't, if she has a hard time with technology, she's done with it. But if it works, she likes it. And she's into this stuff. She loves Facebook. And she's told me, and I'll hear her, we're sitting at the dining room table, and she'll often say to me in a joking way, she'll say, oh, I got to the end of the internet. Meaning she's read all of her Facebook stuff, she's read all her Twitter stuff, she's read all her blogs, and she got to the internet. And so she said specifically to me that she feels that she has room for another social media platform, which is interesting, right? And so, but I do think that it'll remain to be seen. Will this split the population? Will people migrate over here? Because remember, before we were on Facebook, we were on MySpace, and before we were on MySpace, we were on Friendster. Has anybody been on Friendster in a while? No, see? So it is very realistic that this, people might move over there. Bart says, the support for the Google Plus platform on Android will outperform the Facebook equivalent. Google has so many different means of driving usage. Yes, and that is the crazy thing. Did you see that first stat where it's heavily Gmail focused. People that are on Gmail are using Google+. It is a Google world. 60 to 70% of all searches are on Google. Gmail is not the number one most used email client. They are trying to overcome that. Mike, thank you so much for coming. And yeah, by all means, check it out on YouTube. It'll be up there tomorrow. I'm going to put it up tomorrow. So this is I feel like they have this whole this world that Facebook doesn't have. But Facebook does have, incidentally, 750 million users. And so that is something to contend with, but we'll have to see. Alan says, what is the customer switching cost? How do you migrate people from Facebook to Google Plus, in other words? Yeah, how do you migrate them? Well, you don't migrate them. You go where the people are, in my opinion. And so that brings up a point. Well, I believe ultimately my recommendation here is going to be for you to get involved in Google+. You have to really realize that there are only 25 million people on Google+, and there are 750 million people over on Facebook. Alan says, what if your friends don't migrate, though? Yeah, or what if the audience you're trying to reach doesn't migrate? Then, I mean, it's going to be a lonely time for you, and you you don't want to be over on Google Plus by yourself. So I feel that this is a very good question. If people are not going to migrate over, then you want to be where they're at. But what I'm finding is, and what I'm going to ultimately encourage you to do, is participate on this and see if you get more interaction over at Google Plus versus Facebook. When you post something at Google Plus, do people like it? Do they comment on it? Do they share it? Or do you get more of that over at Facebook? And so what I'm seeing is the marketers are riding both of these pretty heavily. Bart says, Facebook blocked the Chrome browser extensions that could export your Facebook friends' email address as a batch. Yes, and that is true. They are, Facebook is not liking that. There were these exporters that would export your Facebook people into Google Plus, and they are actively trying to stop that. Yeah, so, and Alan says, they seem to be a Johnny-come-lately. It's true. It is true that, Alan has a good point that this is, this has been going on a long time. Google has been trying to do things. They have a social media platform called Orkut. They also tried Wave, which was it's closed. Wave is closed. Alan, yeah, that's right. The friend exporter, that's right. So, yeah, so at any rate, this is all, they have wanted to get into this, but it seems to me that this is a possibility. And what I do want to mention to all of you is this, that you cannot wait for the social media landscape to settle. It is not going to settle. People are going to move easily and quickly through all of these. And so you are going to want to stay loose. You're going to want to stay loose on all this stuff, okay? Because the world is going to migrate to different places, and the more comfortable you become in all of these, the easier it will be for you to migrate, okay? So what I want to do here is I'm going on the top right-hand side, or the top bar, I'm going to go into circles, okay? And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you my circles. And what I want you to see here is this screen has been really slow to update. I feel like there might be something a little slow in the GoToWebinar world, but here we go. Good. So you can see here, it says, people in your circles, 327, people who have added you, 241, and then find people. And then this is interesting because it does a interesting job of finding people. And so this is an interesting way of that they are trying to say, oh, well, do you know this person? And when I come to this page, actually, I know a lot of these people, you know, and so they are actively trying to get us engaged in these with these people here, and so they're actively trying to do this, and so. But what's interesting is you don't just add friends like you would add a friend, say, in Facebook. The trick to these is that you want to take these people and add them to your circles. This was the departure. And so this was the big difference. And so what you do here is, like, for example, I'm going to take Heather Lloyd Martin here, and I'm going to move Heather to the web marketing circle because that's what she does, see? So now I have put her in there. And so I can go through all of these people and I can put them in these circles. I can also, you know, search for people. I could say, you know, like Ken Barhoover. I don't know, are you in a circle here? Like, let's see. Oh, wait, there you are. Sorry. Okay, so there's Ken Barhoover. So Ken Barhoover is going to go in the friends column. Let's put him in the friends column. See? And so, you know, and so you can go through all of these. And so this is the goal here, is instead of just adding people, you are adding them into these circles. And you can add people into multiple circles. So I could say, oh, well, not only do I want Ken Barhoover in friends, okay, but I want, I would also like him in the Neo Business, Northeastern Ohio Business circle. So I can put him in multiple circles, you see. And so this is the difference here. And so now when I go back to my stream and I do a search in Neo Business, okay, Northeast Ohio Business, sometimes we refer to ourselves as Neo, then I can go through here and I can just see these people in Steve Ellis. Hey, Steve. I only know one thinker. Yeah, that's a good point. You got me, Steve. I'll have to add you to the list, actually. I've started these I start these circles and then I get sidetracked on them, you know. But at any rate, so now what is interesting is that it is circle-centric, if you will, you know, and this is interesting to me because if I look at my overall stream, it's just the whole flood of things. And that's not really how I work, you know? I'm interested in clients, or I'm interested in family or friends and that sort of thing, you know? And so, that is, I think, a big departure, is that they are actively trying to segment your people for you, okay? But this, so filtering people by circles is very interesting. So, and Bart says you can always create an all circle and add people to both. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I have an acquaintances circle that I oftentimes will put people in, and then I filter them out. Jeff says, do people in your circles know what circles do you have them in? And interestingly, no, they do not. So that is an interesting aspect of this, that they hide it. They will say you have, isn't that a great question? Yeah, so they will hide that they'll say that you have added them, but not what circle. So that's kind of nice. I'm a little behind on some questions here. Let me catch up really quick. It says, Alan says, oh, can you explain why Google Plus shows up on search results excerpts? So this is interesting. This is a big thing that we will likely see an ever-increasing integration of Google Plus into Google as a whole. Will be something that is will increase. And what I want you to understand, everything about Google is about serving more and better ads to people, okay? That's why they do everything. Ad revenue is the secret to Google. And so if they know more about you, they can serve better ads to you. That is plain and simple why they're doing this, you know? That's why every employee at Google right now, their 2011 bonus, 20% of everybody's 2011 bonus has to do with the success of social media, whether you're in social media or not in Google. They're very, very serious about this, and it's because of targeting, okay? So let's see. Let's see here. Can and will Google use the info based on how my friends and coworkers associate me, maybe to target me for ads? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Okay. So, and Alan is going to get to asking about the Hangout thing, and that is super important. Okay. But before I do that, what I want to show you is why I feel that this could potentially be the change of how we all communicate. Okay? So let's say this. Let's say here I'm going to write having a super awesome Google Plus webinar. Okay? So I'm going to write that in my stream. And you will see here that it's added to the public, okay? Meaning that it will go to everyone. And so I think I would want that. So, you know, I'm going to share that. I'm going to put that in the public domain, okay? And so when you put something in the public domain, I like to think of it as blogging, okay? Meaning when you make a blog post, you put it out on your blog, and anybody that has an interest in seeing your content can see it. You know, it's for everyone, all right? But then let's say, for example, I want to send something, you know, I want to say something personal like, I should have eaten lunch before this webinar. I can't tell you how many webinars I do starving. And you'll see if you watch some of my webinars that oftentimes my explanations have to revolve around pizza because I'm always starving. So in this case now, I want this to be friends and family, okay? And I'll show you that here in a second. So I don't, you know, what I don't want, you know, this is kind of a personal thing. And so, you know, I don't want everybody to know that I do this, you know, that I'm hungry, because why would I care, right? So I also want to point out, you'll see here, that if I have added people to Google Plus and they are not on Google Plus, I can check this little box that says, also email 7 people not using Google Plus. And those are 7 people that are in my friends and family circles that have not yet joined Google Plus. And I'm not going to do that in this case, but I could, you know. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this. So now I'm only sending this out to my friends and family. So that means that not everyone that has me in a circle, if I haven't added you to my friends and family circles, then you're not going to see that. You see? And so I think of that more as like what Facebook is, you know? That it is this thing that is, you can make it very personal. All right? Then let's say this, like let's take the, I'm going to take this article, the one that's behind the numbers of Google Plus's monumental rise to 25 million visitors. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put that in to my stream, okay? And I'll show you this. My screen is, well, I guess it's updating fast enough. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this to clients. I'm going to add it to Neo Business. And I'm actually not going to add it to the web marketing people because they'll just make fun of me. You know, it's because of course they know about that. But I'm going to put it in those profiles. That I'm going to send it to clients and Northeast Ohio business people. Okay, and so and then I'll put a little thing here that says, you know, these are amazing Google Plus stats. You know, and so here will be this this post. And so this becomes something much more professional, I would say, you know. And so, and again, I could email 15 people that I put in those circles. And I'm not going to do that at this point in time because honestly, I don't know who they are offhand, and I don't want to, you know, I might not. I don't know. I just have to do that. So now I'm going to share that. And so this is now going to go to just those people, okay? And so I feel like this is a little bit more like how oftentimes people use Twitter, you know? And so, John, how's it going, man? Great question. 1 second. That is you know, it has this whole professional angle. But wait, there's more. Let's say I want to just send something to my wife, like, "Hi, honey. I'll be home after my run to make sure you get to your book group discussion." Smiley face. And so now I'm going to get rid of the clients, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just type in her name. Okay? I want you to see this. Okay? And so here, now, this is a message that is only going to Rocky. Okay? And so it becomes this thing that, and I'm going to share this, and this is going to go to her Gmail inbox. And in fact, I could send it to both Gmail and her SageRock one if I wanted. But I'm just going to send it to her Gmail, okay? And let's say it was really personal. So what I can do then is after I have created this post, I can go in and there's a drop down to the right of it that gives me 4 options. And you see those there? Edit this post, delete this post, disable comments, or disable reshare. So I can click disable reshare, and this means that she will not be able to reshare it back to anybody else, you know. So then this becomes a something that is very email-like. So I feel like Google Plus has the potential of being your center of all communication. It has this potential. Now, will it? I have no idea. I have no idea. Just because they have 25 million visitors or users, unique users in a month, and that is the fastest accumulation of users in history, doesn't mean anything. You know, I mean, it means, I guess it means something, but it doesn't mean, yeah, you like that disable share thing, Alan? I knew it. I knew you would. I knew you would. I knew a lot of you would. I mean, that disable share thing is nice, right? And so, so this could be everything. And I have to say, it is sort of annoying for me to run around gathering all of my messages, you know, my comments on my blog, my Facebook chats and messages and my LinkedIn chats and all that. It would be actually very nice if I could just have them all in one place. And this could do it. Now, again, I think of my mom. Will she be able to put people in circles? I gotta see. I don't know. If I'm concerned that circles are going to confuse people, okay? You cannot overestimate the abilities of the internet audience at large. You cannot. The slightest bit of complication will be a deal breaker for people, and we'll just have to see. I think that's why Facebook doesn't do that. Facebook just says add, you know, just add them. Don't worry. And that's pretty smart. I think that's the recipe that got them 750 million users. Okay, so let me say, let's go back here. Let me get some of these. Okay, Alan says, I'm still not sure what the Google Plus on the search results is for. What happens if you click it? Oh, what purpose does it serve? Okay, I see. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Check it. At pizza, because, you know, I'm going to do a search for pizza. And why will it not be? I don't know. You know, I'm always tinkering with stuff, and I drives me nuts. But every other human being, except for me, will have a +1 button next to their search results. Okay? Hold on. Let me try another one. Akron. Let me try Akron pizza. Okay? Yeah, I don't know what I've done to my browser. Okay? But what Alan is saying, and if anybody goes and if you do a search for this, you'll see that there's a +1 next to all of these listings here. And so what they want you to do is they want you to +1 things like you would like them, you know, and like you would like them on Facebook. And so they're trying to do their own liking system. But this, interestingly, Ken says, you know, mouse over result and the plus will appear. You would think so, but I don't know what I have done. I cannot see it. But trust me, if you do a search, you probably have all seen it. But these have an added value, okay? And the added value is this. It has to do with sparks, okay? On the left-hand side of Google+, you will see a link for sparks, okay? And what a spark is, it basically says, you know, find stuff you're interested in. And so what it is doing here is that it is trying to show you content that you would find interesting. And they give you some featured interests, like they give you cycling and fashion and movies and that sort of thing. And so you can click on this. You know, you can click on like movies. I'll click on movies, for example. And so what they're doing here is they're showing you listings that have to do with movies that people largely have +1. That's how this stuff has gotten into here. It's kind of like an RSS feed with a recommendation type of engine in it, you know? And so this is where they're trying to tie all of this stuff in, okay? So let's see here. I'm a little bit behind. So, Alan, I would recommend clicking on it. +1 stuff that you like, Alan. Why not? John Haney says, hey, John, it's great to see you. Does Google Plus have anything equivalent to Facebook company pages? And the answer is no, not yet, but they will, okay? Please do not put your company on Google Plus yet. It is only for individuals. They are deleting these like madmen, okay? They're going crazy with the deletion of these. Just start with this personally. I recommend that anyways, just to get comfortable with all of this, you know? I don't want you to, you know, they don't want you to put your company on here yet, and so just sign up as an individual and get comfortable that way, but they will have it, and people want it so bad. They want it so bad. Alan says, it says add more people. Why not add more circles? Is it just a wording thing? So you can add more circles when you go to your circles. You can definitely add those, okay? You just have to, it might be a wording thing. I'd have to look and see which part you're in there. But you can add people to circles, and you can create new circles. And in fact, one of the things I have done is I have created a circle for photography, okay? And I am collecting photographers. Oh, you're welcome, John. Thanks for asking, man. So you can see, I think down here, you'll see that I have 8 photographers in here. And so it's handy because now I can just go in and I can see these photographers. And they're awesome because they're putting up photographs all the time. And it's just really, it's a really nice way of organizing things. Okay, let's see. Jeff says, does Hootsuite or others support Google Plus yet? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. This is all still within a month's time. So, and I just haven't looked at Hootsuite. So I guess my answer is I don't know. Unless somebody else knows, I don't know if Hootsuite is supporting Google Plus yet or not, but it's only a matter of time. Okay, it's only a matter of time. Chris says, let's see here. Hold on, let's see. What is the potential for brands to use this as a marketing channel? Huge potential, Chris, but do not do it yet, okay? You'll just get deleted. Just start as an individual, okay? It will come. It's going to come. Okay. Alan says, do you have to have signed up to the Google Plus to like them? You do not have to be into Google Plus, but you have to be signed into Gmail, okay? And what I do want to give you here, I'm going to give you this link. Okay, and again, it'll be here. This is a link to my personal blog. If you're not on Google Plus and you need an invite, just go to this page here, and you can fill out a little form, and I will invite you to Google Plus. Okay, so you know, but you do not have to +1 things on listings. You should also see plus. You're going to start to see +1s on websites and that sort of thing. So that is, you are, and in fact, this +1 data is now being integrated into Google Analytics and your Google Webmaster Tools and that type of thing. So it's all becoming integrated. And do you see why this is so circular? Do you see the incestuousness of all of this? Because this is, you know, you can go in and you know, you +1 something and then it gets picked up in a Spark, and then you +1 something and you can see those statistics in your Google Analytics, and it just goes on and on and on, you know, and this is the real power of this, okay? Yeah, so the +1, Malcolm says, is on the right-hand ads. Oh, is it on my ads? Oh, it could have been. That's interesting, too, that you can +1 ads. That's exactly right. And Alan says, I see the Sparks thing moving into the Groupon space. And Groupon is a direct competitor of Google. They want into that bad. You could be very right, Alan. I haven't thought about that, but that could very well be. John says, do people I add have to have a Google Plus account? I can't find a lot of people who are in social media active on other platforms. They do not, actually. You can tie in your Gmail account, your Yahoo account, all these different accounts, and they will find them and they will send invites to them. So they do not have to initially have a Google Plus account. They are actively trying to get more people into Google Plus. John Haney says, excellent, thank you. Thanks, John, this is awesome. Hootsuite does not support Google Plus yet. They are planning on doing it soon. Excellent, there you go. Glad to know it. Okay, Alan brings up Hangouts. What are Hangouts? We gotta look. Okay, so Hangouts are on the right-hand side of Google+, okay, and what you can do is you can start a Hangout, okay, and I'll show you this in 1 second. And what Hangouts are video discussions. And actually, I wanted to do this when I set this up. When Greg came over and he said, "Why aren't you doing this seminar on as a Google Hangout, Google Plus Hangout?" And I mean, that's would have been very awesome. But the number one reason is because you can only have 10 people in a Hangout at once. You can invite endless people, but you can only have 10 in one Hangout at a time. And so what happens is you can see here, you see a picture of me. It's tied into my webcam. And I can put this in any circle that I want, and I can start a Hangout, and it will go into my feed, okay? And it'll say, "Hey, Sage Lewis has started a Hangout," okay? And you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll do it like with my family, okay? So I'll start a Hangout, and so it says, "No one is here right now. Invite more people using the invite button." So there's an invite button that you'll see down on the right, on the left-hand side, and so I can add more people to it and so forth. And so this becomes a very interesting thing. And it's really cool because you can all have video cameras, and what it does is it actually changes, it changes whose main picture is in the main box by who is talking. So, you know, if I'm talking, then my picture will be up in the front, but if somebody else is talking, then their picture will be up in front. And this could be a really great way of doing interviews and that sort of thing. So you should think of that from a business perspective. You could create a hangout where people come and join you in these dialogues. And so that would be, I think, interesting. So keep an eye on that. Bart says, Google is taking over the world. That is, you are with a winky mark, but you're not kidding. I mean, they are, you know, the governments of the world look close at Google because they are so aggressive. Alan says, do the results from +1 only show up on the Sparks page? In other words, you won't see it on the search results. What you will see is, let's say I +1 Luigi's Pizza. And in fact, if you want to do this, you can go to Google, type in Luigi's Pizza, and if we're connected in any way, you will see that Sage Lewis has +1 Luigi's Pizza. You might have to do Luigi's Pizza Akron. It is awesome, incidentally. Awesome pizza. The Pizza Bianco. Oh my goodness, it's so good. So good. So and so it will show you there. Now, this brings me to your profile. Okay, your profile at Google is tied into Google Plus. And we all have profiles over there, and you want to be aware of what is in your profile. And you can edit your profile. And in your profile, by default, it does not show your +1s. However, if you edit your profile, and the edit button is on the top right of your profile, I got incidentally here by going to my little picture in the very tippity top right, you know, up here. I went to my profile up in there. We'll see that in a second. And so you can edit your profile, and I have edited it. So if you look at my profile, you will see what I have +1'd, but that's not the default. I also recommend that you do update your About page. So that is, you know, this does play a role. And interestingly, I will say that this +1ing and liking could be the new link building. There are a lot of people that feel that this has a possibility of overtaking the importance of links from a search engine optimization standpoint. It does not right now, incidentally, but it could. And so that is something to keep in mind, that this could be a new way of giving value and importance to pages. Okay, let's see here. Jeff says, it seems in Google we trust. All others we are skeptical of. Facebook, I think Google will gain public support. Yeah, I think so. They are very into being the trusted authority. Yeah, it's right. Alan says, does it email them? You are in the Hangout, or can you give them a heads up at the Hangout? So I don't know. I think it will email up to, I wanted to find this number and I couldn't remember it, but you can email individual people, and it's the number I want to say is either 25 or 100 people that you can email at one point in time. So you could send them an email that way. You can invite individual people in that regard. Okay? So, but if you just send it to your public circle, it will not email them. Okay? Alan says, so you only see +1 results from those you are connected with. That's exactly right. But the connections are varied and wide. Google knows a lot about you. All right? And so they know who you're connected to on Twitter. They don't know a lot about you on Facebook, but they know a lot about you on Quora, maybe LinkedIn. I mean, they are scraping content all the time, and if they can find a connection, they will connect you and say things like, oh, Sage Lewis likes Luigi's Pizza. And the reason they're doing that is because they want legitimacy. They do not want you +1ing things that you do not really like. And because this is the problem they've run into with link building to date. All right? So those are some of the things that that are interesting, I think. Here is a link to this. This is a nice overview of all the different aspects of Google Plus. So you might check this out. I thought that this guy recaptured this stuff very nicely. I have an ongoing resource guide. It has almost 70 links in it, and the links are run actually through an RSS feed, so it's easy for me to update this. So this is a place where I have been putting a lot of Google Plus content, you know. So, here is a cool thing. The Google Plus cheat sheet. Here, I'm going to show you this real quick. This is pretty cool in that there are like keyboard commands for Google Plus that will allow you to update things quite easily. And so I would recommend that you check that out. This is I'll give you the link to that. Okay. And so let's see. I'd really like to show you that page here. It's not updating. I don't know what's going on, but at any rate, the link, you have that link there. I'm going to keep moving on. Let's see. Is there any other? Oh, okay. There. You see that? That's those are the cheat sheets. The link I got you there. Here, I'm going to give you a link of finding people on Google Plus. This is a kind of a handy little tool that I would suggest. And then I also really like this Google Plus social statistics site. I feel that it does a nice job of showing you the most followed people, the most popular posts, and so forth. It's a really cool place. And all of those are in that Google resource link that I gave you, and those are all going to be referenced in the post. Probably the easiest place would be find it at the SageRock blog. Okay, so this is, those are the things that I felt like I really wanted to show you. I got a couple more questions. It says, let's see, Alan says, I didn't know that they were scraping that content. Oh, they are scraping content left and right. Malcolm says, what is in it for someone to +1 something? Why do people click a +1? That's a great question. Why do people +1 things? And I feel that it is because of empowerment, that people want to be heard, and by liking something, like you see those, like this on Facebook, this gives people a little bit of power to say, hey, I like this. And so I feel that this plays to people's egos very nicely. And may I say, don't forget that people believe user-generated reviews. Never forget that people will pay more for a more positively reviewed product than a cheaper, less reviewed or negatively reviewed product. And those are from anonymous people, okay? These are people they don't know. And all the social media spaces, all the search engines know that if they can connect you with people that you know, you're going to sell products for people, Like, so for example, what am I into, like, right now? Like, Boxy, okay? So here. So this is something that Boxy TV, okay? I have given up cable TV, all right? I don't use cable anymore because I am cheap. I admit it. I'm cheap. I can't help it. But I also believe that this is the future. And so, like, for example, I could do a little post here about Boxy. And Boxy is software, but it is also, you can buy hardware. And what it does is it aggregates all of your subscription TV and your Netflix, Amazon, all that type of stuff all in one place. And it also will pull all free content from the internet. And so, I could go on my personal blog and say, man, I just tried Boxy and I love it. I love Boxy. You should go and check this out, And so here it is, and I do this whole thing. And so if you trust me, I'm selling the stuff for people, and this whole +1ing is that, So Alan says, but just wondering, how easy, like Facebook, do you think this can be hacked? So, you lost the audio feed? Oh, no. Oh, it's back. Whew. So sorry about that, Chris. Hey, I'm so glad you made it all the way through. That's awesome. I believe that, if this stuff has value from if you can raise somebody's positioning, get them more traffic, which gets them more sales, the people are going to try to manipulate this stuff without a doubt. But if we are all beholden to each other and we want to have meaningful relationships in our social media space, and we have proven that we generally do in Facebook, for example, then it's going to be a little bit harder to just send up spammy links and spammy +1s and that sort of thing, So Aaron says, hey Aaron, is it too early to put a +1 on product pages? No, it is not too early, and you should put a +1 on your website. So let me give you a link to that. Add plus Google. Let me get you this +1 to website. Okay, I'm gonna get you. It's the +1 button here. I'm going to get you this link. So what I want you to do is I want you to check out this this page. And interestingly, it says, Bart says, I just did it. Share this now has it. So the share this button, which is a social media sharing button, now Bart says has the +1 on it. So and I also, from a WordPress perspective, am using bars that have +1 on them. So I would highly encourage you, if you are using a content management system, to look around for plugins or modules, what have you, that use the +1. Share this. Let me get you the share this button. Share this. Okay. Let's see here. I'll get you this link real quick. This could be a nice, easy solution here. Thank you, Bart. I appreciate that, man. So this could be an easy way of adding these. And then Bart says the share this competitor does not offer it yet. So that's interesting. So apparently we're seeing here that the share this button that you could put on your site has the +1, but he's saying that the competitor does not have it. So this could be an interesting thing. I would encourage you all to start thinking about putting this +1 thing in here, simply because if you look at the new Google Analytics environment, it has a social section, and they are showing you social connections, and this is going to be very important. Mary says, hi Mary, would you put the +1 on your home page? If so, where would you place it? We are placing it on the products page, but are having difficulty where we should put it. Okay, good. I'm going to take the liberty and show you a client here that one of the many, there's a couple clients on here. You're all super awesome, but I wanted to show you Weldmaster, Google Weldmaster, sorry, Miller Weldmaster. It's only a matter of time until you're Google Weldmaster. You'll take over the world too. They have done a nice job of putting this on the bottom of their homepage, okay? And I'm going to show you this. So what they have done is they've taken all of their social media buttons and put them on the bottom of the page. Miller Weldmaster makes vinyl welding machines, and they're just one of the, I work with several really great American companies, and this is one of them. I would really like to show you the page here. I believe it's going to come, but I think my browser is getting sleepy. Actually, let's see. So it should show 3 +1s. Yeah, right now it only has 1 here. Okay, so you can see it finally down here, that it's on the bottom here. And so you can see that they have the link to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, their blog, and +1. And so that's maybe where I would consider it. I would say this, that if you are blogging, so the SageRock blog, which I would love for you all to come to anytime. Oops, that's not how you spell it. There's an O in blog. 1 second here. Okay, Alan's got to run. Yeah, I thank you so much. I've got to wrap up too. I've got a meeting myself, but this is super great, and thank you all, Alan. Thank you all for being a great audience here. I want to just finish up this, but I just wanted to show what I've got going on here. But thank you so much. So you'll see here on the the Sage Rock blog here. I'll put this link. That I have created it's a sharing button that has all of these on here. Okay, and so this is that there, and so you'll see them over here, and that's just an automatic thing that has been created there. So that is that. I can see a couple of you. I've kept you over. I try never to do that. I apologize. But as you can see, this is a big topic, and something I'm interested in and very excited about. And I would like to see you all. I would love to see you all over in Google Plus land. It would be great to see you there. And check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay, everybody. I think that's enough probably for one day. Steve, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Is that the Steve Ellis, incidentally, the world-renowned cellist? That's interesting. Okay, all right. So, all right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you maybe at some other webinars. Okay, everybody. Thank you, and have a great day. All right. It was the best. Oh, Jeff, my man. Thank you. World-renowned. I knew it. Okay. Thank you, Bart. Hey, thanks, Kim. Oh, Kim, it was good to see you on there. All right, everybody. I got to wrap up. You guys are awesome. The best. Okay, bye now.